and we have to start Dawud. No. Dawud and Hay and Vav are going to discuss the share of the Truah and the share of a Shvarim. Okay? And he's going to start now telling you what we're going to learn now. I don't know if we'll get it all of it today, but it's not the way we do it. The way we do it. Later he says, Yesh Shaimin. And then he said, L'inyan halacha, you should go according to the Yesh Shaimin. So, but this is, okay. So he says there's a Shir Tekiya Hamura B'Torah. How long does the Tekiya have to be? It's like a Shir Truah Hamura B'Torah. Like the Shir of the Truah. In other words, the Tekiya has to be the same length of the total of the Truah. We Shir Truah Hamura B'Torah is Kigimel Yevavos. So we explained yesterday that the Truah is Gimel Yevavos. Gimel Yevavos means three, I call it in English sobbings, three sobbing.
The Truah needs to be long. The Truah needs to be long.
It's mine.
The Truah, so that means the Truah needs to be pretty long.
So see. So Yesh Shaimin, so some say, Dehainu Gimel Kaichas Ba'alma. Gimel Kaichas Ba'alma means very, very short, even shorter than the Truah that we make. Even shorter than that. V'heim nekroim trumitin. So B'mela, so now he's saying, V'achsha shetiknu chachamim, v'kaya tashat tarat, k'dei losis mikol ha'sveikas, sheyesh b'truah. We do this in order to be yotze, to make sure that we did everything that's possible. So tzorach aharach b'kiyah shal tashrat, k'shir truah shall say the Tashrat. Now, when he says K'shir Truah, that means the Shvarim and the Truah. Because in Tashrat, so the Shvarim and the Truah are the possibility of Truah. And listen to the way he teaches it now. Dahainu, Gimel Shvarim Beinanim, three Shvarim, in other words, not too big, not too small. Kegimel negichas beininus, or kegimel yoloris ketanis. In other words, it has to be three. He doesn't give a share here to the shvarim. He says it's called beininus. And then later there's very small. So he doesn't give a shira, but this is less than what we do really. Sharei, hakol biyachad hu truah shoshet tashrat. The gimel shvarim and the gimel yolois, that's the truah. Because why do we make kiyah shvarim truah to kiyah? Because when we do Shvarim Truah, because we're saying, maybe that's what the Torah meant, but it's a Truah. Uvesei the Tashat, when it comes, you do only Tekiya Shvarim Tekiya, Ein et tzorach ahara b'Tekiya Esav, Elo k'dei shir Gimel Shvarim Beinanim. Again, that because the middle, the Shvarim, is Shvarim Beinanim. Again, he doesn't give a share for it. It's not, it means a little bit bigger. Shazau shir Truah shal tashat. Because the Gimel Shvarim is is the Trua. Ubetrua shall say tarat, when you're doing Kiyah Trua, Ein Tzorach Harach Ela Kedei, Shir, Gimel, Yelois Ketanis. Shazeu, Shir, Trua, shall say the tarat. Okay? So in other words, according to what we're learning now, the centerpiece, not the Kiyah and the Kiyah before the Kiyah, the centerpiece is either Shvarim and Trua, or Shvarim alone, or Trua alone. And B'mega, so the Kiyah has to be according to the centerpiece, which is not much. It's more than when the centerpiece is only one. But when the centerpiece is two, so then it's a little bit more. Now he says it's like, the Imra Harach Habe B'chol Tkiyah, if he wants to go along Tkiyah. So till now we spoke about a minimum, how long it must be. But if he wants to go along Tkiyah, or Shus B'yada Harach Kama Sheyitza, you can make the Tkiyah as long as you want, really. V'loi Amru Shir L'Tkiyas, Ela Shlo Yipchas Me'ashir. The whole thing that we said is Shir is that it should a minimum, that it should be at least a minimum. V'chein B'trua, Yochel Harach B'trumit and Kama Sheyitza. You can make a lot of, very, very small. And v'chein b'shvarim, in Moisev or Gimel Shvarim, ein b'kakum, there's nothing wrong. It's just it's different sounds. But the number, how many, is a minimum of 3 of each. Now, so Chayda, he's saying is like, if we say L'mashal, that the Shvarim and has to be three Beinim. So then, if you're making more, so isn't that a hefsek? The extra ones is the extra one a hefsek. So he says, "Ve'eina kamafsek bein hatkiyah, oya shvarim utkiyah shalach reha, ki m'shoyse kein kol shvarim akol tumitim b'neshima achas." That means that this. The only time it's considered a hefsek is if you blow a sound that you don't need. But if you repeat a sound a number of times and you really don't have to do it, it's not called a hefsek because you're doing this sound now. So it's not a hefsek, it's just a continuation.
But people that cry, if it's the way of crying, so if you do it another time, that means that it's not like the way of crying.
Some people cry for 1 minute, some people cry for 5 minutes. However, he says, the minhag is that we don't make more than 3 shvarim. Avo to meet them, that's the trua, Yochel Lashes Kama Sheyitza. You can make as many as you want. Now, over here now you say a thing which we do in Lubavitch, and he's going to say here that you shouldn't do it, but we do it. And he said, "V'yesh oisim v'seif ha'gimel shvarim kol poshet ke'ein tekiyah v'chein oisim v'seif ha'turmitim avo ein ha'minhag asas kein." In other words, when we blow shofar, so we do 2, 2, 2, 2. We add a little piece. And he's saying that there's people that when they do it through, they also add a little piece at the end. So our minhag is not to do it by the truah, but our minhag is to do it by the shvarim. We add a little piece which he says that you shouldn't do it. Now he says, Tzorach lizoy b'shvarim shal tashrat. You have to be careful by the shvarim of tashrat. Shal yarach b'sheva echad me'gimel shvarim kedei shir gimel shvarim beininum. Begimel Yoloris, the Hainu Trumitin. In other words, he's saying, before he said, he didn't give a share of Trua. He just said that Trua is just a Kayach, and he said that Shvarim is a Beinani. So he's saying that when you blow the 3 Shvarim, you should be careful not to make one of the 3 longer. What's the problem making it longer? Because Shazel Shir Tekiah shall say that Be'im Marach B'Sheva Echad Kishir Zeh Yotze Mekal Sheva V'Yikor became Kia. In other words, that it shouldn't be mixed up with a Kia, being it's a little bit longer, it shouldn't be mixed up with a Kia. Ubeseda Tashat Sheshir Tekiah He Kagimel Shvarim. The Tekiah is over there is a shorter one. By Tashrat, it's a longer one. But by Tashat, it's a shorter one. So the Tekiah is Kashir Gimel Shvarim Beinanim. Yarach B'Sheva Echad Kadei Shir Gimel Shvarim Beinanim. He shouldn't make one longer. Shaloi Yetze Mekal Sheva V'Yikor B'Shem Tekiah. That if he'll make it longer, it sounds like he's doing again a Tekiah. V'im wa nizah v'kach, afilu b'diavad lo yotzer. If we svara zu, according to this svara, the bottom line is, this svara holds that the trua is just very, very short, and the sheva is a little bit longer. Okay? A little bit longer. Now he says, the lady will see involved, you have Yeshayim is going to have a different opinion. But now he said, Ulatchila Taibu Zohar, Shafil B'Seder Tashrat, Lo Yarech B'Sheva Echad, Kedei Shir Gimel Trumitim, V'Bishazeh Shir Tekiah Shal Seder Tarat. In other words, in Seder Tashrat, so the Tekiah is longer. So if the Tekiah is longer, so you might think, I can make the Shvarim longer. Because it's not going to be considered like a Tekiah. He says, true. It's not going to be like a Tekiah of Tashrat, but it will be like a Tekiah of Tarat, or Tashat. Because over there the Tekiah is shorter. V'im Yarach Keshir Azeh, Yehei Elov Shem, Tekiah Tarat. Lo Shem Sheva, not a Sheva. L'fir a table katza v'kol Sheva v'Sheva, v'kol ma de'efsha. It's better not to make long shvarim. Rak shelo yikatza yoyse midai. You shouldn't make it very short in order kedei sheyehei elo shem genicha b'lo shem yolola. The hainu trumitim. If you make it very short, then it becomes like a trua. So it's not a sheva. So you have to be careful. It should be a bein, and it should be like a sort of in between. Now look over. Now goes over here to the next one. V'yeshayim. So remember, in the first one that we had, he doesn't give actual share. He just calls it that the trua is a kayach, and the sheva is a beinani. Over here now he's going to give a share. And he says it's like, V'yeshayim, and some say, Shashir Yababa, the share of your crying, who gimel through mitum. And b'mega b'shir trua, k'gimel yavavas, shehain test through mitum. In other words, they're saying that you have to blow nine truas, because you have to have three and b'meir, so 3 times 3 is 9. V'shir tekiya, k'shir trua, gam kein tes trumitin. So b'meir, so the tekiya that you do before and the tekiya you do after has to be the same size as the trua, which is 9 trumitin. V'shir shvarim, so now what's the shir the shvarim? Before he said it's a beinani. What is it now? It says v'shir shvarim b'vadai le'pochasu mishir trua. It's also not less gam kein gimel trumitin. L'chol ha'pochas. So by trua, to get the 9, you do it 3 times. You do it 9, so you have 3 times 3. But by shvarim you only have 3. So how do you get 9? So he said it should be b'im kein tzorach hara b'kol sheva loy pochas migimel trumitin. That every sheva should be at least 3 trumitin. Kedei sheva gimel shvarim b'yachad loy pochas mites trumitin. K'shir trua. Well, free the reim according to them. Tzorach hara b'tkiya shot hashat loy pochas mi yud ches trumitin. The one before that said that the true is very small, and the shvarim is like a beinani, so you don't need a very long tkiya. But now according to his opinion that you have to have 9 truas, and you have to have 3, which that each one is like 3 of the 9. So it's a total of 18 kaiches. Shezeh shir trua shasei tashat. Dahainu gimel genichas. V'gimel yivavos b'yachad. Shehen gaipochas miyudchas. It's not. It's at least 18 trumitim. So according to this year, which this is actually how we fizz. We fizz that we do 9 truas. You could do more also, but you have to do at least 9 truas, and you have to do the 3 shvarim should be the same length as the 9 truas. So each one is like 3 of the trua. Now he says,
could you listen to a tape recorder?
Oh.
Could you listen to a tape recorder and it blows the shofar a certain way, and just copy it?
You gotta know the halachas.
Yeah, but Hashanah you can't put on a tape recorder.
Yeah, I'm saying we're learning the halachas. No, we're learning the halachas. I understand we're learning the halachas, but here it's just how much to do and where to stop. If you listen to a tape, let's say you listen to a song, yeah, you know where to stop, where to go, where to continue. If you hear it 10 times, you know exactly how to do it.
But you don't know what to be careful of. If you deviate, you don't know if it's good enough.
The halachas, and you just the tape will help you.
V'yochel harach b'kol sheva at pochas min yudches trumitim. In other words, we just said before that the shvarim is 9 and the truas is 9. So he's saying that you could make the shvarim more also. How much could you make the shvarim more? He says up to 18. Why up to 18? Because if you make 18, then it's a tkey already. So he says, "V'yochel hara b'chol sheva at pochas ma'at miyud ches trut mit lepi sha'ad yud ches trumitin ein shem tkiyah." It's not called a tkiyah. V'kol mokem v'chatchila go yarech b'sheva echad kedei tes trumitin. You shouldn't make one of the 3 shvarim, make them wrong, because shezeh shir tkiyah b'seder tarat. Because by tarat, the key is shorter, because you have only in between only trua. ואם כן שם תרועה תקיעס תרת, או אבל בדיעבד יוצא עם הרח בשבע של תשרת פוחס מיוחס תרומיתן. כיוון שבזה הסדר עדיין אין עליו שם תקיע. He's saying like this, that if you made a long Sheva, if you made a long Sheva in Tashat, where you're blowing only Shvarim, so it's no good. Why? Because over there the Tekiah is shorter. Because the Tekiah has to match what's in the middle. Over in Tashrat, the middle is longer. About the middle is longer, so the Tekiah is longer. Once the Tekiah is longer, even though if you make a longer Sheva in one of the Shvarim, and it will be like a Tekiah from Tashrat, but you're not shot. You're doing Tashrat now. Being you're doing Tashrat now, so it wouldn't be considered that you did wrong, because in this piece that you're in now, it's smaller than what the key is supposed to be. Inyan halacha. So now, you had now two opinions. One opinion was that the Shvarim is 3 kailas beinim, and the true is 3 kailas beinim. You had another opinion that the Shvarim is 3 longer, and the true is 9, because you also need 3, the length of 3. So linyan halacha yesh lahakman b'shal Torah kesvara achroina, and that's the way we do it. The hainu sheyarach b'tir kashrat kishem yutras trumitim. The key should be at least 18, because the shvarim and the tua are 18. Ubetkiya tashat and tarat kishem tes trumitim l'chol hapachos, because the middle piece is 9. Ubechol sheva yochel yarech ma'at kedei gimel trumitim, v'yarech ad tes trumitim. In other words, you have the 3 shvarim, so you can make your sheva a little bit longer. It's the length of 3 kaichas, so you can make it a little bit longer, but it shouldn't be longer than 9. Because if it's longer than 9, then it's like a tekiah. Even over there, he shouldn't make it longer. Aber b'di'eved shekvar toka v'shina echad mikol elu ein etzog also b'utkaya v'neish sheyesh lismach al svara harishayna. Okay, let's stop over here.